Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. This is my client's previous set and she was just ready to do something new. As you can see, we have absolutely no lifting. If you'd like to see what I create, please keep watching.
Only been a few hours, but it felt like days. Only been days, but it felt like months. Been gone for a year, only know like once. Life moves fast when you do what you want.
So I've already applied my client's full cover extensions. These are the Spray Medium Natural Coffin and Medium Natural Stiletto. So I know you saw the title in the thumbnail. I am just going to jump right into it. I want to let you know that everything I use will be listed on screen and down in the description box wherever possible. But yeah, this video is going to be a little bit different from my usual format where I kind of talk through what I'm doing. This video is actually going to be a story time about a crazy client that I had when I first got into doing nails. So this probably won't be a typical thing on my channel because luckily I don't have very many crazy stories to tell, but this one was definitely the craziest. So if you've been following me for some time, then you know I got started with nails by making press-ons during the pandemic, and my press-ons were super popular and I shipped them all over the United States. Once things began to open back up and the salons were open, press-ons started to slow down, and I wanted to find a way to continue doing nails and expressing my creativity. However, press-ons were just not as popular anymore because people had access to nail salons. So I knew I wanted to keep doing nails because I did thoroughly enjoy the whole creative process. However, I am not a huge fan of acrylic. I don't like the smell of it. It's just not my thing. And I wanted to find something that I could do to continue doing nails and being creative without the odor of acrylic. And I actually considered doing polygel. Polygel ended up not being for me, but I did discover Gel X and full cover extensions and completely fell in love. I did some research and ended up being trained and taking a class out of state to, learn the proper way to apply my full cover extensions and get good retention. The art part was not hard for me because of my experience with press-ons. It was just making sure that I was applying the full cover tips properly. I slowly decided to start accepting clients, and my first clients were primarily family, some friends, and every once in a while I would get an inbox from someone who was inquiring about the services that I offered. It wasn't weird or anything for me to get random messages from people, and the way I would screen them would be to go to their page to see if I knew them and just didn't recognize their name, or if we had, friends in common, if they were from my area, things like that, just to provide some comfort to myself and to them, because just as much as they're a stranger to me, I'm a stranger to them. Once I would explain to them my policies and the rules that I had in place and where I was generally located. I never gave my exact address because, again, I work from home. They don't know me. I don't know them. Once the deposit was paid, the appointment was booked. We would just, they would show up for their appointment and all would be well in the world, right? So now we're going to get into the meat and potatoes of this story time. This particular young lady sent me a message. We went through the whole spiel. I gave her all the information. She paid her deposit and booked her appointment for about a week from that day. She seemed really sweet, and when I went to her page, I realized that we did have some friends in common. Not a lot, but enough for me to feel comfortable that people that I knew, she knew. And we went ahead, booked her appointment for about a week. out, and she told me what she was looking for as far as colors and design, and it was very doable, so everything was everything. I explained to her that a part of my policy was that you needed to come with completely bare nails, no enhancements at all whatsoever, meaning no gel polish, no acrylic, no nothing, just your natural bare nails. So the day before her appointment, I sent my reminder like I always do. It's just a courtesy of my policies, my grace period, my exact address, things of that nature. She confirmed, and that was that. So she shows up for her appointment. I open the door, and she's kind of standing in an awkward position, but I never really thought anything more than maybe she's just a little bit socially awkward like me. When I'm around somebody new, my body language might be a little bit tense just because I'm awkward sometimes. So she comes in, and I notice immediately that she has red polish on. And I'm like, okay, cool. Is that regular polish or gel polish? Because that's two different removal possibilities. With regular polish, you just wipe it off with acetone. Gel polish may need to be filed down, soaked off. It's a whole thing, which is why I request bare nails. She informed me that it was gel polish, and my instinct was to say, unfortunately, I won't be able to complete your appointment, blah, blah, blah. But again, I'm socially awkward. I don't like confrontation. She's already here. Let's just get this show on the road. So I tell her that I will go ahead as a one-time courtesy and remove the gel polish. It wasn't like acrylic where I had to like file it off, drill it off, nothing like that. It was just going to take me a little bit longer to get it off because it wasn't regular polish. So I sit down at my nail table and tell her to have a seat across from me, and I'm waiting for her to place her hand on my nail table, and she's not doing it. She proceeds to then tell me,
"My arm is broken."
And I know the look on my face was like, what do you mean your arm is broken? And she tells me this story about how she was drinking and had fallen off of a bike. Now, what I didn't tell y'all before is that this lady was pregnant. So that's a whole thing in itself, but whatever. She was drinking, she fell off a bike, she broke her arm. And she broke her arm, it was her forearm. So the bone between your wrist and your elbow. Now, I'm like staring at her because what do you mean your arm is broke? And do you know that that gif of Diddy staring at that guy and the guy staring back? It was like that. She's staring at me all crazy. I'm looking at her all crazy, but I'm like,
Why are you looking at me crazy? I'm not the one with the broken arm. You are.
Again, I'm thinking to myself, let me just go ahead and cancel this appointment. Like, I'll refund her and just give her deposit back. But another thing, she had told me about some personal issues and how she just really wanted to feel pretty, and she was going to be having surgery to have her arm fixed, and she had been through so much. And as a woman, I'm a woman before anything. I'm a mother after that, or however you look at it. But I understood where she was coming from. Sometimes you just really want to feel good, and sometimes when you look good, you feel good. I have a big heart. I was going to get this set done by any means necessary, okay? So I got on my nail chair. She's sitting across from me, and she's sitting in an awkward position because she can only stretch one arm across the table. So we took care of the healed arm first, and I did that my normal way. But once I got over to her broken arm, which was going to be her right arm, I turned my manicure chair around with the back of the chair facing the desk, and I put my knee in the chair so that I could reach her easier and she wouldn't have to try to stretch and strain her arm. I was trying to make her as comfortable as possible. And the more she told me about what she was going through and what she had been dealing with, like, it made me want to complete this set for her. Like, I've been down bad. I've dealt with depression. Like, I got it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I truly understood what it meant to her to do something nice for herself and to make herself feel good or feel better about herself. So I was going to figure it out. So I get this polish off and we're just talking. And I mean, we're talking. Once I'm comfortable with somebody, I listen easier and I talk more. So she's talking to me about things that she's going through. I'm giving her advice, encouraging words. She's telling me about, things that have happened to her in her life. And like, this surgery, this babe, like she's telling me everything. And as a service provider in a very intimate setting, like doing nails or hair, clients do tend to open up to you and tell you a lot about themselves. And it's a very like personal experience. So we get the polish off and now it's time to apply them. Mind you, I'm still in this chair on my knee because she cannot reach her arm over. We get the first hand done, which is her left hand, completely fine, no issues. And now we move over to the right. Applying nails on someone with a broken arm who can only stretch their arm at like a 20-degree angle is hell. But your girl got it done. Her nails were freaking gorgeous. When I tell you, she was so happy. Like her face, she was just so happy. I mean, she was smiling. She was like excited. She couldn't wait to come back for her next appointment. Like she seemed more optimistic about life in general. And I was really happy. Like it made me feel really, really good. But I'm going to end this story right here. And my next video will have part 2. Gonna leave you guys hanging a little bit. Everything pretty much goes downhill from here. From the moment she left my home with this beautiful set of nails that I put on the screen, it was downhill. And when I say it was downhill, y'all, it was downhill bad, like real bad, like roller coaster fast, bad. Every interaction that we had from that point forward was absolutely atrocious, and it made me change my business practices. This one client made me change the way that I did business going forward. And this happened back in 2022, I believe. So yeah, stick around, come back for part 2. There is so much more to tell you. But as always, I appreciate you all so much for being here. Thank you so much for watching. Please don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. And I will see you all in the next one with part 2. You know I release new videos every week, so make sure that you are here. Turn on your post notifications, and I'll see you all again soon. Bye.
In the meantime, it's not going well. It's some me time. But you know what you want. Crib by the beach like Odell. No, my mom, my killers don't tell. Shadow my mom, cause I knew you.